Yeah, first and foremost, man, just proud of this group. For people that follow college basketball, know that's a really good basketball team that we just beat. In the updated net today, they were 19th in the country in the net. They were 8-0. One of the things I'm most proud of is our growth. So obviously we go to battle for Atlantis, we lose to VCU, right? VCU was just out-toughed us, beat us to 50-50 balls, and we made some costly mistakes. That team manhandled VCU. I mean, start to finish. I mean, they VCU pressed and made it a game at the end, but it was like they were, at one point, I think it was a 16, 18-point lead. They're really good. They're old. I mean, they've got 20, 25, 26 years on the team. They're veteran. They've been coming off NCAA tournaments. They've got a good coach. And so just a gutsy performance. And what I'm probably most proud of is we did it on the defensive end. It's their lowest point total so far this year in 9 games. Their lowest field goal percentage so far this year in 9 games. And it's what we've kind of talked about since coming home from the Bahamas is we know we're going to be good offensively. We've got really good players, and we're going to be good offensively. But our identity has to come on the defensive end. Just really feel like our guys bought into that, and it showed tonight. So really proud of their effort.
For both players, and start with you and then go there. From an offensive and defensive standpoint, was that the best half you guys have played all year so far?
You talking about first half or second half?
Yes. Oh, first half.
First half, I think I'll start off from like a defensive standpoint. You know, we really harped on defense up until this point, and I think everybody just bought in, like Coach said, and we just, locked in that first half. And I think it's probably some of the best defense we played, and I think we have all the guys capable to just keep that going forward. And yeah, that's it.
Just saying what Josh said, we really harped on it at practice. We really made sure that we were going to be bought in on the defensive end, and I think it showed tonight that it was one of our better defensive nights.
Anything else from players?
Oh, I'll ask another one then. Same thing. It seemed like you guys came out with a purpose tonight, that you wanted to press Utah State in the half court and just press the ball the entire time. Was that the case?
I would say it kind of was, like I said before, just defensively, we came out with just something to prove. You know what I'm saying? We went to the Bahamas, it didn't go our way, so we kind of just had to shake back from it, and, we did that tonight. So, yeah.
Definitely wanted to come out and apply pressure because I feel like we're one of the more athletic teams, so we should be able to really, really pressure teams and cause trouble for them. And I think we did that tonight.
All right, thank you, fellas.
Y'all don't want. They're way cooler than me. Y'all don't have more questions for them? They won the game. I was just there watching it. Good job, fellas.
Coach, same question for you. Was that the best first half you've had all season?
Yeah, not even close. Probably double. Our last second best first. Just on both ends of the floor. I think we held them to I don't have my phone. I think like a .52 points per possession defensively in the first half, which is that would be number 1 in the country defensively. Just an elite performance against a really good team. We didn't do that against a bad team. We did that against an elite offensive team. And so, yeah, by far our best single half performance of the year.
Coach, you talked about them being nationally recognized in the net rankings. Does the team's mindset change going into a game like that, or is it the exact same every single time?
The mindset's the exact same every time. Obviously, when you're going through a scouting report and you've got a team that's undefeated and 19th, 20th, 21 in the net, you know what's coming in the door, right? And so we didn't talk about their net. We talked about how good they were, right? Net doesn't matter if you don't win the game. And so, we talked about how talented of a team they were. They had a top 20, 25 defense, top 50 offense in the country. And I'll be honest with you, no disrespect to them at all. I know their entire coaching staff. I've known most of them since I've gotten in the business, before I got in the business, actually. But we punked them from start to finish. And again, that's no disrespect to them. That's me talking about our team and our approach to the game. And that's a really good basketball team. That win's gonna pay off down the road.
Was it something that you said to them for them to come out like this? It was like start to finish, or was it them after what happened in the Bahamas? Why do you think you guys played so good and dominant tonight?
Wasn't anything I said. There's no magic words. I think it's a complete buy-in from all of our players, right? We weren't happy with the way things went in the Bahamas, and we could sit here and Okay, we lost to an undefeated Oklahoma State team, and VCU's good. No, we don't care. We don't care about that. Every game on our schedule, we schedule to win. And so there's no moral victories in this program. And so when we come back from a tournament 1-2, we come back with a pit in our stomach, and our guys felt that. And I want to give credit to my staff. I've got the best assistants in the country. Derek Rongstad did a phenomenal job on the scouting report. I mean, I don't know if he slept the last 3 days, just knowing what was coming in, and I mean that. I mean, I'm not even saying that to be funny. Like I sat him down today and told him, like, hey man, you got to get some rest. Like, go for a walk outside, get some sun. And his response to me was like, Coach, I'm in charge of our defense. And I take my job very serious. I take pride in my job, and I'm just not happy with where it's at. And so when it gets to where it needs to be, then I'll rest. And that's the type of staff I have. And so really happy for him, to be honest with you. He puts a lot of time into it. And so for the players to go out and execute the way that they did, that means a lot.
Coach, is the biggest thing right now consistency? I mean, you got a whole bunch of new players. They're learning on the run. Are you worried which team's going to show up night to night? Is that the biggest thing right now?
I'm not worried about what team's going to show up night to night. I'm really, if we can execute our game plan on both ends and play the game from start to finish with elite effort, we're gonna have a chance to win every game we play. I'm very confident in our talent. I'm very confident in who our young men are as people. They take pride in playing basketball here at USF. They take pride in their development and their growth. And so really it's finding the right combinations, finding who we are, our true identity on both ends of the floor. And there's still like a role identification process going on, right? I mean, we've got that team returned quite a few guys, right? And we did not. I mean, this is 15 new players, right? Joe and Isaiah played for me last year. They didn't play with these guys last year. We're still learning each other a little bit. We're without our backup point guard, Xavier Brown. I thought our freshman, Adriel Neorha, has done a phenomenal job stepping in for him and got some good minutes from Gavin Hightower over the last couple of games. But this is still, we're still in the building phase. And I think that you'll see our best basketball is yet to come.
Coach, there was a specific moment in the game when y'all went up 26-11 right after the under 12-minute timeout, and it forced them to use their own timeout. The crowd was getting into it. The players were hyping up the crowd. And I know you said you've been an intense coach. Was that like a moment in there in that huddle where you just wanted them to lock back in? There's so much time left in this game.
Yeah, we in those moments we talk about, that's when you kind of you want to deliver a knockout punch, right? That's not when, it's great as young men, they want to celebrate in those moments and, get all excited. We force them to call a timeout. No. That's when, you put your foot on their neck, to be honest with you, right? They're on their heels. And so we don't come out and ease off anything. That's when you've got to dig in and go a little bit harder because they've got a good coach. And I told our guys, what do you think he's telling them in the timeout right now? Right? He's talking about their effort. And so if they come out and their effort is better than ours, now we're in trouble, right? So I thought our guys sustained that effort for a good portion of the game.
Coach, my last question tonight, and thank you for your time. I don't mean to be a name dropper, but Brian Dutcher at San Diego State is a very good friend of mine. I've seen Utah State play a lot in the last 2 years. This is a tournament team. The closest they got in the second half was 13 with 24 seconds to go. You got them down and kept them down. How important was that?
That was huge. And, they are a good team. I mean, I'll tell you, we recruited 2 young men on that team that we couldn't get. I mean, we went all in. Number 2 Collins, number 7 Kobe King, and we tried to get those guys. We weren't in the financial range that they were looking for. More importantly, we're not ever recruiting wise. I'm not ever going to be the highest bidder. That's not who we want to be, right? So that's no offense to those young men. They're good players, and they handled the recruitment very well. They both picked great spots for them. They're both having success. So that's not a knock on them by any means. But they're a really good team with a really good coach, and I told our guys that they're going to make a run. Good teams that are well coached are going to make runs, right? And we got a little stagnant in the second half, and one of the points I made at halftime was when they make a run, they hit a couple shots, we're not going to try to answer that run by coming down and jacking up shots. Let's draw fouls and get to the foul line. Fouls stop runs. Free throws stop runs. And I thought our guys did a phenomenal job of that, being aggressive, getting downhill to the rim, drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line, for the most part, making free throws. And that's tough, right? You feel like you're making a run. Next thing you know, you send the other team to the free throw line. Boom, they make 2 free throws, with time stopped. And so credit to our guys for, withstanding their run and getting what we wanted to get done on the other end.
Coach, I have one last question. C.J. Brown went down sometime in the second half, and then he came back, and right when he was back on the bench, you wanted him in immediately. How important is he to this team? Could you give like any sort of injury update on that?
Yeah, CJ's phenomenal. CJ's, we're so fortunate to have him here. He's a phenomenal point guard. He's a great player, and so we want him out there. And CJ's fine. It was cramps, no injury. We've got to make sure CJ's hydrating properly so we can, keep. I told him when I recruited him to stay here, I want you out there for 30+ minutes. Right, and so, and I meant that, and we've showed that all year, and so CJ will be fine, but yeah, having CJ out there is huge. He's our rock. He's PG1, takes care of the basketball for us, gets us organized, does a phenomenal job, and just really proud to be his coach, and to continue to see his development. I do want to give him credit. CJ, I took over his individual workouts myself over the past week. Really, not that I have the answers or anything I do is special, but I'm the head coach, right? And so when they feel like I believe in them, I think that goes a long way. And so some of our struggles in the Bahamas where people just go under CJ's ball screens, we twist them, they go under it again because they don't think he can shoot. The kid can really shoot the basketball. He's been hesitant to shoot it. So for him to come out in that first half, and I told him I wanted him to do it, he stung them from 3 out of the gate. That changed the way that they had to guard him. So huge credit to him for following through on that and stepping up and making a big-time shot. And CJ's just going to get better and better every game.